And it's me, Grace. I'm sorry I haven't recorded a video for a long time. I've been really busy. I actually wanted to announce, since I didn't get to announce my pregnancy, that Mackenzie and I had another baby girl. Here she is. She's got a boatload of hair. And we named her Magnolia, Esme, Violet. And Azalea is being naughty and standing over here on the counter, but she's very, very, very proud of her sister. And what happened was, I got pregnant in January. Actually, I know the very date we conceived was January 19th. And what happened was I was due October 18th, and I was planning on a vaginal birth after cesarean section because I had a cesarean with Azalea. And I went all the way to 43 weeks, and one day was pressured mercilessly by my old OB to get a C-section. He actually scheduled me for one night, and I was like, no, I'm not getting a C-section simply because I'm overdue. There's going to be a medical emergency for it if I'm getting a C-section. Well, I think it was 4 days after that visit, I had been having contractions pretty consistently the night before. They were about 3 minutes apart and lasting a whole minute long. And, I said to my husband kept asking if I wanted to go into the hospital. I'm like, no, I just want to wait and see what happens. I'm just going to go to bed because they were strong, but I thought I might be able to try and sleep through them, so I went to sleep, and I was really, really restless the whole night. Really wasn't able to sleep much. So I got up the next morning and went to the bathroom, and I lost a chunk of my mucus plug with bloody show in it, because obviously mucus plug is not always a sign that you're going to start labor right away, but when you have bloody show, it's usually a sign right away. But I also had bloody show 2 terms prior to that, but this was like a ton of bloody show. It was like I had to wipe like 3 times to get even most of it off of me. So I went back and laid down and was telling my husband, you know what, we really need to get ready. It's time to start packing, trying to get our daughter up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And the next thing I know, I feel something trickling down there. So I got some toilet paper and just wiped down there to see what it was. And it was blood. And I asked my VBAC group, I'm like, is this normal amount of blood, and they're like, no, that's bright red, you need to go to the hospital. So after that, I'm like, yeah, they're probably just overreacting. Went into the bathroom to try and put a pad on, and as soon as I stood up, there was like a huge gush of blood all over the floor. And I just started screaming at my husband. I'm like, call the ambulance, I'm gonna die, please don't let me die. And it was just pretty horrible. So what actually had happened once I got to the hospital, and they also realized I was losing way too much blood, but they did a ROM test on me, rupture membranes test, and I had my amniotic sac rupture, so my water broke, and that was part of what was on the floor, so it wasn't all blood, but I needed a C-section. She wasn't doing too well. She was not having accelerations in her heart rate like she should with activity. So with that and the excessive bleeding, it was just gushing. I went in to get the C-section, and by the time that was done and said, I'd lost 2 liters of blood, and thankfully, they were telling me that they couldn't promise that Magnolia was okay because of, they thought, the doctor suspected that my placenta had started to separate from the wall of my uterus, which is called an abruption. When he got in there, he said that he thought that I had a mild abruption, that it looked like the edge of my placenta was tearing away. But when he sent it down to pathology to get the report, they said that my placenta was negative for an abruption, but I did have acute inflammation in my placenta and umbilical cord. So, not really sure what went on at this point in time, but Mackenzie and I both want to have more children, so we'd like to eventually get figured out what exactly happened to cause the hemorrhaging. So, anyway, that's what happened. She's here. She's safe. She was 8 pounds, 13 ounces, 20 inches long, and she was born at 12:05 on November 9th. So she's almost a month old now. And here she is. I love her so much. Her sister adores her. And she's got a ton of hair, as you can tell. Azalea, better be behaving. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll report back with how she's doing. And she's fighting a little bit of a thrush infection right now, but she's got some medicine, so hopefully that goes away soon. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Keep you updated. Bye.